What's going on, people? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Things We Learned, the show where we chop up all the latest talking points of the most recent Chelsea game. And yeah, this one we're going to be doing Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. Yes, guys, sadly, we're going to be revisiting this show again. Big up everybody that's locked in. I'm going to try so hard not to swear in today's video, so just bear with me, please. But hit the like button, smash the subscribe button on your way into the video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV. Check out all the previous content where we just chopped up the whole Chelsea game again. And yeah, big up everyone that's locked in. Hit the bell notification button as well to be the first to know whenever we release any new content on this channel. And let's get straight into it. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1, but that was a very, very flattering scoreline compared to the way that we played, because we played like crap. We were terrible for every minute of the 90. Let's be real about it. There was never any period of the game where Chelsea were dominating. And we were just lucky that Arsenal couldn't really make any clear-cut chances. I think we were good centrally when it came to defending ourselves, but going forward, we were poor. In transition, we were getting eaten alive. On the wings, we just struggled. And we just weren't creating anything up top. Now, granted, if we had better decision-making in the final third, we might have been 1-0 up before we went 1-0 down. But it's just ifs, buts and maybes. And we already know what to expect with this Chelsea squad. And it's not a lot of good. So please don't be too surprised by anything like that. Because I wasn't either. I only tried to speak positivity into existence with this fan base. Doesn't mean that at any point we looked like we were going to beat Arsenal. And it only just showed in our performance. We were very, very poor in that game. Midfield got eaten alive. Forwards had no service at all. Can't even really blame Aubameyang too much of yesterday's performance because we didn't feed him anything. And a goal was coming, and to be honest, even the goal we conceded was so poor. The ball flies through Havertz, who miskicks the shot. Mendy gets beaten very easily. Cucurella is hugging Xhaka like one clingy ex for no reason. It's just a giant mess, but again, it's Chelsea for you. It is so Chelsea. But we will get to the talking points, don't worry. My first talking point is the same thing that I tried to emphasize in my fan cam yesterday. Be real about the squad that we have. And it's okay to be negative. It is okay to be negative because look at performances like that. Look at how we've been performing all season. We haven't been performing well enough. People need to be honest about the players that we have. Because what we do is the same thing we've done for years. We overhype. We talk about where the players could be at if they're in the perfect scenario and we put them in the right position. And if blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. They've been here for long enough. If they were good enough, they would have shown it for more than just one game in 10. But they don't do it. We are in the middle of a rebuild again. We are in the middle of an overhaul again. And a lot of the same players are here. The same players that were here on the Tuchel, the same players that were here on the Lampard. How about we stop questioning the manager and we stop focusing on him and start focusing on the same bozo players that continue to disappoint us every single time we need them to turn up. And then they live off the back of one big game performance or one run in a cup to a final or a Champions League final. We will use anything we can to try and pretend that these players are good enough and they are not good enough. And we need to start being real about them. Likes of Mount, Havertz, Pulisic, Ziyech, the likes of Kante, likes of Kovacic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I could keep going forever and ever. We overhype them to death. Unless the players are called Thiago Silva, Reece James or Trevor Chalobah, I do not want to hear it anymore. Second point, we're going to go straight onto one of the most protected players at this club, Kai Havertz. Oh, we're finally playing him in his natural position. And look at the performances that we're seeing. We're beating Zagreb 2-1. We're beating Salzburg 2-1. He is creative. He is back. All because he had 2 one-half performances in both of those games. And he scored. That means he's back. No, I kept saying wait till the Arsenal game because I anticipated some BS like this would pop up. We would have been 1-0 up if he made a simple cutback to Aubameyang, if he just made one cutback that you would ask from a visionary, creative number 10 in his natural position in a big game where he's always meant to thrive. Waffle, you're waffling. And people say I've got to have a agenda. No, I see through the BS that everybody talks about. Congratulations, you can turn up against social distancing merchants in Zagreb and Salzburg. How about you do it in a Premier League game? How about you do it consistently for more than 3 games? How about you do that seeing as you're our most expensive player? Is that too hard to ask? Spent most of the game on his arse. Not even because of 50-50s, because he had no balance. Spent the whole game just turning over possession. And we could go to Mason Mount as well. More dispossessions than passes completed. These are the 2 most overprotected players in our squad, and they are not performing. And you wonder why I get at them every week. I expect so much better from those 2. They're meant to be carrying this club for the next 5 to 7 years. And you act like they're already at that level right now. No, they are not. And you're talking out of your arse if you think that. Havertz needs to be more creative. He needs to be more consistent. Same thing with Mason Mount. Same thing with all of them. The only consistent players are Silva, James and Chalobah. And that is it. That is it. Third point, Thiago Silva, only positive part of this video. Ooh, Thiago Silva can't play in a back 4. Oh, we're protecting him by playing in a 3. He just shut every single one of you lot up. The nerve of you saying Thiago Silva can't play in a back 4 is a disrespect to one of the greatest defenders to have ever played the game. Thiago Silva can play a back 4. He showed it in that game because he saved our arse the entire first half. One of our only shining lights in that game. I'm glad Thiago Silva proved a few people wrong. Point number 4, Edouard Mendy. Still so shaky in possession. I don't outright blame him for the goal, even though I think he could have done a little bit better. But he kept putting pressure on the defence in the midfield because he was so slow to distribute the ball. And the distribution weren't even good enough. And it's a typical problem with Mendy. I've been saying, like, maybe him being on the bench would help him get back to form a little bit more. No, it's the same old crap. It's just not good enough from him. Not good enough from him at all. And he needs to be doing a lot better. Who else? What's my 5th point? Graham Potter. I want to talk about Graham Potter because he's already getting a lot of criticism. And I don't understand why. You can... To be fair, let me rephrase that, because you can criticize, but I'm already seeing people say Potter out, and I'm seeing a lot of people make comparisons to Tuchel, and I just do not understand it. We were very lucky Tuchel came in and instantly fixed things up, but we weren't expecting that when he first joined. We were just going to be happy with top 4, and that was it. No one expected the Champions League. I don't know why people expect us to go straight back to stage 1 of a rebuild and expect everything to be fixed immediately. Now, you can question the way we start games, because at some areas that's not been good enough. Sometimes the substitutions haven't been good enough, and you can criticize that. That's fair. I will never say anything about anyone doing that. If you're saying Graham Potter out right now, if you're saying Tuchel needs to be brought back or anything like that, you're just talking out of your arse. Because what would Tuchel change? We weren't playing better under Tuchel. If anything, we were playing worse. So I don't understand it. We know Potter's a good manager. Why is everyone forgetting everything at Brighton just didn't happen? We know he was one of the biggest up-and-coming managers in the world. He needs time. Obviously, the squad isn't up to his standards. Maybe the job is a bit too big for him right now, but it's up to him to grow and to fill into those shoes. And he needs at least 1 summer to bring in his own players before we make any judgment about him. 1 summer to make that judgment. Mate, I just want to see him have a full squad before I even say anything. Once he has a squad of his players and they're playing his style, we can judge him as a manager. Until then, we need to, as much as I hate to say it, we need to trust the process. We need to trust the process, people. It is what it is. We cussed Arsenal for it for ages and we're here now. But look where they are, 2 years into it. Look how long it took Klopp to build this team. Look how long it took... Well, it took Pep a year, but the point still stands. You need time. You need time, and Potter needs to be given that time too. Stop crying over Tuchel leaving. He already left. Big him up and everything. We'll always have love for him. But he's gone. Potter's here now. Back the manager and believe in him. And we'll see what happens. But guys, we're going to end it here anyway. Big up everyone. Like, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. I've been Carefree Lewis G. And up the Chelsea.